Esteban Ocon has 1 foot out of the Alpine garage after he made an enemy out of everyone in the team. His daring first lap dive on teammate Pierre Gasly at Portier during the Monaco Grand Prix has sent Alpine team boss Bruno Famine into a fury. Ocon's excessively aggressive move ended in a horrible crash, launching his car into the air and out of the race. Famine is now hinting at serious repercussions for this high-speed mishap. French driver Esteban Ocon, starting from 11th on the grid, right behind teammate Pierre Gasly, spotted a tiny gap at the right-hand Portier corner at the Monaco Grand Prix. Seizing the moment, Ocon boldly threw his car up the inside of the sister Alpine, igniting a heated first-lap showdown. As the drivers approached the corner, the tension hit a boiling point. Pierre Gasly ran out of room on the outside, and that's when Ocon's left rear tyre collided with Gasly's right front. The impact sent Ocon's car flying into the air, landing with a thud and suspension damage that took him out of the race. This horrific turn of events unfolded even as red flags waved moments later for the frightening crash involving Sergio Perez and the 2 Haas drivers. It was a chaotic scene at the Monaco Grand Prix, and as you would expect, steam is coming out of Pierre Gasly's ears. He has voiced his frustration over an incident that he believes should not happen after the clash with Ocon. Right after the crash happened, he shouted over the team radio saying, "What did he do? What did he do? Why did he try to attack? Oh my gosh, the whole car is damaged now." While Gasly managed to add another valuable point to Alpine's tally, he couldn't shake off his mixed feelings. On one hand, there's obvious satisfaction that he was still able to finish 10th, but on the other, there's regret for what could have been if the collision hadn't happened. Right now, I must say, I'm very pleased and very relieved for the whole team, Gasly said. We knew Monaco was a place where there would be an opportunity, even if we struggled with the car since the start of the year. We managed to seize the opportunity yesterday with that first Q3, and it was important to capitalise on that, and that's what we did. Unfortunately, it wasn't as peaceful as we had planned. I don't want to go into too much details, but these things should not happen. It was a clear instruction from the team on what to do, what we were supposed to do, and this wasn't respected by Ocon. I'm just glad we managed to get out of it, with only some front wing damage and a couple of things, and luckily, with the red flag, we managed to repair it. Speaking to the media after his dramatic exit from the race, Esteban Ocon assured everyone that his back was okay despite the hard landing. Ocon also expressed regret over the aggressive move that led to his retirement. "I'm okay. It was a hard launch in the air and a hard landing, but I've had worse days on that side of things. I think on that side of things I'm okay. Obviously, it's an unfortunate incident to retire early in the race, and a tough one. We tried to basically put the car back in the garage, so we pulled out of the fast lane to try and repair what we could repair. Unfortunately, we discovered too much damage sustained to continue. A chaotic first lap. I hope that the team can score some points today." The FIA stewards had their say, and it wasn't good news for Esteban Ocon. After investigating the incident, they pinned the blame squarely on him and slapped him with a 10-second time penalty. But since Ocon was already out of the race, the penalty was converted into a 5-place grid drop for the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix. The steward's verdict reads, "It was clear to us that the collision was caused solely by the overly ambitious overtaking attempt from too far back by car 31 Ocon, and was therefore wholly to blame for the incident." With one Alpine car out of the race due to the incident, Bruno Famine didn't hold back in a terse interview with French TV channel Canal+. Clearly frustrated, Famine hinted that there could be serious consequences for Ocon's brash move, leaving no doubt about his displeasure. "It's sad to see this kind of incident. It's exactly what we didn't want to see. Esteban's attack was totally out of circumstances. It was exactly what we didn't want to see, and we're going to draw the consequences. We're going to make a tough decision. If we were fighting for a podium finish at the end of the race, why not? And still, but there, on the first lap, at Le Portier, frankly, it wasn't the place to make an attack, leaving zero room for his teammate. Esteban Ocon issued an apology statement not long after, which reads as follows. Today's incident was my fault. The gap was too small in the end, and I apologise to the team on this one, hoping for a deserved points finish for the team today. When informed of Ocon's social media apology, Pierre Gasly was questioned about how the team plans to move forward from the incident and prevent similar occurrences in the future. This is what he said. That's the most important, he said. We've got to make sure. We can't afford as a team to risk to have both cars out of the race. Potentially, we could have maybe scored points with both cars. We'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll move on and find solutions in the future. Ocon explained that his gearbox bore the brunt of the damage, which would have likely ended his race, even if he had managed to limp back to the pits during the red flag. He also revealed that he hadn't yet spoken to Bruno Firmino about the incident, but once again admitted he had misjudged the lunge on his teammate. You have to take care, but at the same time, we are doing 120% to be trying to get inside the top 10 for me, for Pierre. We saw it yesterday. We pushed to the limit a lot in qualifying. Mistakes happen. That's it. Sky F1 pit lane reporter Ted Kravitz caught a secretive moment in Monaco, spotting Bruno Firmino calling reserve driver Jack Doohan for a chat. This meeting followed Firmino's earlier hint at consequences for Esteban Ocon after his collision with Pierre Gasly. The behind-the-scenes discussions suggest a serious tone within the team as they navigate the aftermath of the on-track incident. During his Ted's Notebook programme, Kravitz said, "Let's trot on down into Alpine because there is a story afoot, because Esteban Ocon almost took out his teammate Pierre Gasly." Firmino said that a decision will be made. Ocon put a tweet out saying, "That's absolutely my fault, but the team aren't letting us even try to talk to Bruno Firmino about what this direct consequence will be for Esteban Ocon." I will say that I saw Firmino on the roof of the Alpine pit building. He called Jack Doohan, the reserve driver, over for a chat. They had a chat. I don't know what the chat was about. And then Jack Doohan left and went down the stairs. Now, I know that's not exactly Woodward and Bernstein and Watergate, but it's all I've got. Does that mean that Firmino is going to penalise Esteban Ocon for doing what he told him not to do by benching him for Canada? Maybe. Is he going to put Doohan in the car? Maybe. How will the Esteban Ocon camp feel about that if it does happen? I should think pretty bad. Will that only mean that they defer the Esteban Ocon penalty for the next race he does, which would be the one after Canada, which is Spain? Yes. Alpine's reserve driver roster boasts some impressive talent, featuring Australian Jack Doohan and the ever-promising Mick Schumacher. The German driver, who still holds a valid F1 super licence, remains a strong contender for a potential seat. And given the state of things, one of these rising stars will get the opportunity to make their mark on the grid. With his contract at Alpine set to expire at the end of the 2024 season, Esteban Ocon has been keen to highlight his ties with Mercedes, especially as rumours swirl about a potential move to the vacant seat at the Silver Arrows. There has been talk of Ocon eyeing a future with Mercedes. What do you think? Are Esteban Ocon's days as a Formula One driver numbered after his costly lapse of judgment? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.